What is up, everybody, and welcome to WWE In Review, the internet's best place to hear me, Notorious Nerdy D, and Level Up Lauren, the greatest casual wrestling fans of all time, go back and review critically and not so critically acclaimed matches of the past. Every week, someone from the casual wrestling community submits a match for us to watch and review, whereafter we place it on the most notorious list of casual wrestling matches ever made. Lauren, this week's match is Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18, submitted by Darian Stevenson.
Ooh.
So as always, Lauren, I start this show off by reading an excerpt from the wiki.
Okay.
Just to kind of let you know, like what wiki had to say. So WrestleMania 18 was the 18th annual WrestleMania event. Okay. Mm-hmm. Produced by WWF back then. It took place on March 17th, 2002 at the Sky Dome in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It was the second WrestleMania at the venue after WrestleMania V1 in April of 1990. The event marked the final WrestleMania held under the WWF name and the final one of the Attitude Era. Okay. As the company was then renamed to the WWE in May and entered the Ruthless Aggression era later that year. It was also the last WrestleMania held before the introduction of the brand extension that happened just a week after the event. So they split into two brands after that event.
Okay, thank you.
The record-breaking attendance for the Sky Dome was 68,237. It grossed approximately $6.1 million. And WrestleMania weekend also included WWF fan access at the Canadian National Exhibition Automotive Building. This WrestleMania would be Hulk Hogan's first WrestleMania appearance in 9 years and his 10th appearance overall. He competed in the very first 9 WrestleMania events, main eventing 8 of those. That's an all-time record. I don't know if it still stands. After WrestleMania 1X, Hogan left WWE in late 1993 and signed with WCW. So we watched this match.
Yes, we did.
We watched this match, and this is the second match that we've watched. Now, I did the first episode of this show by myself, but you went back and actually I had you go back and watch the CM Punk versus John Cena match from 2011 Money in the Bank. Quickly, thoughts on that match. What were your thoughts?
First thought was like, I don't know what can top this.
Yeah, right? So that's it was a good match. I mean, it definitely was a good match. I felt the same way. But then I saw this match, this WrestleMania match that somehow had slipped through my wrestling watching time. 2002 would have been right around the time that I was in the height of playing basketball. So I was leaving high school, going into college, or would have been going into my senior year. And
You're leaving me.
I had basically, that's when I kind of checked out. I was too cool for pro wrestling. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I went through my middle school and early high school loving wrestling. Then I got, I was heavily involved in playing sports. So my mind was in other places, stopped watching. And so this is that big gap I talk about in my wrestling watching career. This is it. And boy, did I miss some shit. Like, I mean, you jump in whenever you want. But the first thing I noticed about, and this is doubling down on something that I say all the time, the size of these guys, the size of The Rock and Hulk Hogan in that ring, that's what wrestling's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And I get it, right? This is an old match and people are going to go, you're leaning on it, old head.
But their size did not suffer like their finesse. Does that make sense?
So,
like their finesse didn't suffer because of their size.
Yes,
that makes sense.
100%. That I think that when I look at this match, one glaring thing that it brings to me is like outside of Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, these big guys don't move like this anymore. There's not another Hulk Hogan. I think I've underestimated how great of a professional wrestler Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen Hulk Hogan or The Rock ever wrestle. That was my first time.
I mean,
ever.
so The Rock was my guy. I watched tons of The Rock, but I admittedly I had seen Hulk Hogan wrestle on Nitro or like cut a promo, but I had never sat down and like really, especially in my adult life, watch the nuance of Hulk. He's phenomenal. I get what the fucking hype around Hulk Hogan is now, and now I want to go back I think this show's going to open a door for me because now I want to go back and watch some of his WCW stuff and even old like HulKmania WWF stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing that stuck out to me. The second thing that really stuck out to me, and I don't know if it stuck out to you, was, and this is funny because coming off of Monday Night Raw this past week, and this is, you know, probably too topical for a show like this, but I don't care. That the crowd in Louisville, Kentucky was so fucking dead. And you can't compare it to WrestleMania, but like that fucking crowd at WrestleMania with The Rock and Hogan was it, like, it looked like they were going to jump out of the stands and into the ring. And like the initial, just like when the intros hit, it like the building was just happy. It seemed like the building was just excited for the match to happen. But then you saw as the match progressed, the crowd began to turn on The Rock a little bit. Which
it was so interactive, and I was just like, oh my God, I love this.
Yeah, it surprised me how like Hulk Hogan won the crowd that night. And I don't know, The Rock might have been working heel in that match. I don't know enough of the build up to that match to know, like, we're just taking this match as a moment in time and we watched the, you know, the 5 minutes of like, this is what you missed. And then we watched the match. But I mean, it was fun. I mean, I guess I've underestimated, and that gets me excited for this show because, you know, I was just kind of hard-headed and set in my way. Like, there's nothing that's gonna beat CM Punk and John Cena. Like, when I look at wrestling and I go, that was the moment in time, that was as good as it got. And then I watch this and I go, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited because this is all new to me. And so each time that I watch them, it's like even more exciting. And then I asked you too, I was like, they used to crash cars like that and all that stuff.
You were excited.
I was excited for that stuff. Like, why don't they do that shit anymore?
They do, just not. I mean, it cost a lot of money, I think, is the problem. And I don't know that they necessarily need it as much as now you can post a social media clip of two people fighting in the back and that goes viral.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like, you almost had to like, there's and this is off topic a little bit, but you realize Vince McMahon died on WWE TV.
No.
Like, he was in an explosion that killed him on TV and then showed back up the next week. And I think it was because I don't remember exactly what happened, but there was a real life it might have been Chris Benoit. Something happened where they were like, we can't, all right, cut that, bring it back. But like, they were committed to the idea of like, we're gonna fucking kill Vince McMahon on TV. So like, yeah, that kind of shit used to happen. They filled Corvettes with cement. Stone Cold came out with a fucking beer truck. Kurt Angle came out with a milk truck. That was kind of a staple in old wrestling. I mean, but not too long ago, Roman Reigns.
I agree. We had like the tractor and stuff like that, but I love that part of wrestling. Like, that's exciting to me.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I'd like to see more of that.
So let's talk. Let's break it down here because we're the infancy of this list. The most casual wrestling notorious. I change the name every time. The most notorious casual wrestling match list ever. We have one match on that list and it's number one. And I made a definitive fucking statement week one that it was going to be a long time before that match was dethroned. What is your vote? Where does this go on the list?
The one we just watched?
The Rock and Hulk Hogan. Does it go above or below?
Yeah. Above.
I'm with you.
I mean, there's like not even a comparison. It was like after I watched, the other match, I was like, oh my God, Dustin, that's so awesome. Like, I had no idea that it could be that cool.
Yeah. I mean, I thought, I really thought, like, I thought we were going to go weeks. I thought we might go months without changing the number one. I'm all like, there's a new standard for me watching these matches. It's this.
Yeah.
This. And I'm excited because I think we're going to get a lot more of this. We're going to start seeing, I think we're going to go back and see some matches that like me and you have never experienced and go, we missed out on a lot of shit.
Yeah, I agree.